Hey y'all, this is Healing Honey, and we're back with another video. Today's video will be about unlocking the blueprint within you. When we talk about unlocking the blueprint within you, we're talking about unlocking the codes, unlocking the knowledge, unlocking the information, unlocking the wisdom. The wisdom that came with you, the wisdom that is within your cells, the wisdom that is within your DNA, the wisdom that came from the ethers. Sometimes you don't have to read a book. Sometimes you don't have to learn something outside of yourself, because sometimes we have that same information. Sometimes it takes us to wake up that part of us. Sometimes it takes something to enlighten us for us to remember that true essence that we have within ourselves. We all came down here with a blueprint. And within that blueprint have all this information from different timelines, from different past lives, from ancestors, from all these different aspects of ourselves. And once we unlock that blueprint that we all have, that's when the real magic happens. That's when shit starts to come online. That's when you're no longer accepting being normal, accepting what is known. As in, once you start to remember, once you start to unlock, you see yourself differently, you feel differently, you see things differently, you hold yourself to a certain standard, not from ego, but from spirit. You start looking at things from a different perspective. When you have unlocked that blueprint within you, things start to awake. Different gifts start to awake. You want to know how you knew that? You want to know how you knew that was the answer? You want to know how you know all these things you can't explain? What if it came from your soul? What if it came from the blueprint? What if it came from your remembrance? With having a blueprint, let's talk about it. With having a blueprint, we think about a house. Okay, before you even start the foundation of the house, you gotta have a blueprint. So before we even came down here, we had a blueprint. We knew that we was going to be in certain environments. We knew that we was going to meet certain people. We knew that we was going to experience certain things. Within this blueprint, it's knowledge, it's information, it's all this essence of source that we have within our being. And within this blueprint is where we remember who we truly are. We remember our true essence, the essence that we came down here with. We sometimes forget that this is just a game, and what is truly true is our blueprint. So, talking about the blueprint, unlocking the blueprint, we know that we all have different zodiac signs, and within these zodiac signs, we resonate with the energy that we feel our zodiac sign have. Whether you are Capricorn, whether you are Gemini, whether you're a Cancer, whatever your zodiac sign is, at this time and at this place, your parents decided to have you when this star and that star was together at this time, at this place, right? So, we know that within this blueprint, it is multiple personalities, characteristics, and traits that we have. So, going within the blueprint, we all resonate with certain things intentionally. We're not just down here, and the things that we resonate with are just there just to be there, but it is a purpose. Talking about unlocking the blueprint within us. We all have a natal chart. And what is a natal chart? A natal chart is your specific characteristics, traits, energy, all these planets within the universe resides within you. We think that the planets are outside of us. But what if the planets was just reflecting what's on the inside? What if everything that we think is on the outside is really on the inside? So for example, say you're a Capricorn and you get along with Cancers well. You get along with Libras well. It's for a reason. You may have Libra in your chart. You may have Cancer in your chart. Within the natal chart, it tells you different things about you. So you can go search online. The website I use is called AstroSeek. Within all of us, we have certain characteristics and traits. And within these characteristics and traits, different signs reside. For example, say that you're a Capricorn, but your moon is in Taurus. That means that your emotions are more grounded. Your emotions are more, it could be more stubborn. Your emotions could be more stubborn. Your moon represents your emotions. How do you handle things? Your moon is what everybody may not see. Your emotions, what you keep inside, right? So within your natal chart, it is different aspects of you that you have to learn, you have to work on, you have to develop. For example, we all have Chiron in our chart. What is Chiron? Chiron is the wounded healer. And within Chiron, it is teaching you what you need to work on this life. And also, how can you help others within this lifetime? So, that being said, within your natal chart is everything about you. You're learning you. It's easy for you to say, oh, I know my sign. I know my zodiac sign. I know who I am. But it's so much more. You have so much more within your being you don't know about. Within your natal charts, it tells you your gifts. It tells you your abilities. It tells you what you came down here for. Don't think that you just came down here just to come down here. We all came down here for a reason. So within unlocking this blueprint, you start to wake up these gifts. You start to wake up these abilities. And majority of these abilities you had from different lifetimes. You had from past lifetimes. Whatever you're interested in this lifetime, most likely you did in your past life. So we all have the ability to tap into these aspects of ourselves. It may say in your natal chart that you may need to stay away from certain things. You may need to stay away from alcohol. You may need to stay away from things that stress you out because it can cause different illnesses. It is certain things within our natal chart that can help us realize what is good for us and what is not good for us. So within unlocking our blueprint, we start to develop and to remember who we truly are. This is just a tool. The natal chart is just a tool to help us unlock this blueprint that we all have. You decode your natal chart. You're decoding yourself. Just like having a blueprint for a house, you gotta have some type of layout for that house. You gotta know how you want that house to look. You gotta know how many floors you want to have. If you want to have 1 floor, 2 floors, 3 floors, you gotta know how you want your interest to be. Without that blueprint, you don't have a house. You have no foundation. You don't know what you're building without a blueprint. So you have to remember that you're not just a vessel, but you are a spirit within this vessel. This spirit, this soul have different abilities. And while we're in this human body, we have the ability to tap into these different abilities. A lot of people feel limited within their human body, but it is so much that we can tap into. It is so much that we can unlock. And we're talking about unlocking a blueprint. We have ancient DNA. We have ancient knowledge and information within our being. We have ancient information from our ancestors that's waiting to get turned on, that is waiting to be remembered, that is waiting to be heard. If you never acknowledge something, how can you even get an answer? How can you even hear if you never acknowledge something? We have to start acknowledging these different aspects of ourselves and unlocking this blueprint. You start to remember and know that, damn, I came down here with it. I came down here with all the information I need. Damn, I don't have to feel like I don't know who I am. You telling me that I don't need somebody else telling me who I am because I know who I am? I heard something a long time ago. And it said, if you don't know who you are, somebody else can tell you who you are. One thing about my channel, I'ma always revert back to you. You having the answers, you knowing the answers, you knowing yourself. I could give you the tools, I can give you the information, I can give you the knowledge. But at the end of the day, it's about you. It's about you remembering. It's about you healing. It's about you coming home to yourself. It's about you awakening. You may have people along your way that is able to give you nuggets. But baby, you got the real nugget. You have the biggest nugget. You just have to discover it. You just have to remember. You just have to unlock it. It's nothing outside of you that you don't have within you. It is nothing outside of you that is out of reach. Everything that you desire, internally, externally, is in your reach. Once I start to unlock my blueprint, it's when my gifts started to reawaken. That's when my gifts started to come back online. When I say come back online, the sleeping DNA, the sleeping knowledge, the sleeping information that I came down here with. When we don't address certain things, or when we put things to the back of our heads, or when we don't heal certain things, we sometimes shut off different aspects of ourselves. But it takes us to do the internal work to awaken, to unlock, and to remember our true essence, our true being. So during the unlocking of my blueprint is when I start having all of the visions. It's when I start having communication. It's when I start having communication with myself. I may talk about the ancestors a lot. I may talk about all these different aspects. But the true conversation is always with yourself. The true conversation is always you and you. We have to realize that this whole story, because it's a book, your life is a book. This whole story has been about you the whole time. The whole time. We have all the information. We have all the knowledge. And I'm not saying I know everything, because it's so much more to learn. It's so much more to it's so much more to discover. It's so much more to remember. It's so much more to unlock. But what I'm saying is, if I can learn all this information about someone else, then I can learn all this information about myself. If I can do research on all this other stuff, then I can do research about myself. If I have all this knowledge about someone else, then I can have all this knowledge about myself. Once I started to do the work and sit with myself and learn how to be in silence, because that's where the real knowledge and information comes from. When we sit in silence and we do less thinking, because us being in this human body, we do a lot of thinking. We think 24/7 and never give our mind. We never give our mind time to rest. We're always thinking, thinking, thinking. Once you start to sit in silence, it's when the knowledge and the wisdom start to come. If you're always on the go, if you're always moving, how do you have time to listen? How do you have time to hear? We're always talking. When do we ever shut up? As humans, especially in today's society, social media has made it to where everybody have an opinion, but ain't nobody saying nothing. What are you saying? Is it valuable? Is it important? Is it giving something? Are you growing from it? Is it helping you? Or is it just toxic? Is it drama? Is it bullshit? So, we're always, like I said in my last video, we're always consuming. But what are you consuming? Are you consuming things that's going to help you thrive and grow? Or are you consuming things that does not even matter? Are you consuming things that's not going to do anything? That's something to ask yourself. We all have this special blueprint within our being. But we have to remember, we have to start wanting to know the answers. I can take all this information that I've learned since childhood, or I can start unlocking the blueprint. Baby, once you unlock that blueprint, it's like a wealth river. A wealth river within yourself. So much things start to open up internally and externally. And you start to unlock this blueprint. It is so many things that you get access to. It is so much information that starts to rain in. A wealth of information. A wealth of remembrance. We talk about paper money. Let's talk about spiritual money. Let's talk about a wealth of health. Let's talk about a wealth of information. A wealth of abundance. Because at the end of the day, we can have the paper money, but do you know yourself? We can have the paper money, but do you know who you are? We can have the paper money, but do you truly like yourself? Baby, I want the money and I want to like myself. I want the money and I want the knowledge. I want the money and I want the soul remembrance. I don't just want the money. Because at the end of the day, when we're no longer within these bodies, the money is just money. What's forever expanding is that wealth knowledge. Is that wealth river. And once I start to unlock that blueprint, all these codes of remembrance start to unlock. All these codes of wisdom start to unlock. You want to know how to make a cake and you never watched or seen anybody make a cake? Maybe it's remembrance. You want to know how you're so good at playing the piano, but you never learn how to play the piano? Maybe it's your remembrance. Maybe it's your blueprints unlocking. You want to know how that 3-year-old is talking about his past life? Maybe it's remembrance. Maybe it's remembering. We sometimes forget, but then being in this human being, within this human body, we sometimes forget that it's deeper aspects than ourselves. It's deeper aspects that we can unlock. It's not just about the looks. It's not just about what I can see with my physical eyes. Sometimes it's deeper than that. Baby, you look good, but what is your soul about? What is your soul about? Can you tell me who you are on the inside and not just the things that has happened to you? Are you telling me your soul remembrance, or are you telling me your past traumas? We all have them. But within soul remembrance, within unlocking the blueprint, we start to look at things differently. We start to remember, damn, I was supposed to go through that. Damn, that was supposed to happen. Damn, I'm not a victim. Damn, I'm just playing a character. We start to remember, it's bigger than this. It's bigger than me. Damn. Unlocking the blueprint that eventually has the potential to grow, to be built into an empire, to be built into a temple. You are a walking, talking temple. You are made out of gold. But you forgot that. Once you have this blueprint, once you unlock this blueprint, is when you're able to build this beautiful ass temple. It's when you're able to build this beautiful ass empire. If you do not know the blueprint, how can you build the house? How can you build the business? How can you build yourself without the blueprints? We have to tap into these aspects of ourselves. We have to know that we can go deeper, that it's more. When I thought I knew everything, baby, I don't know anything. It's so much more to learn. It's so much more to understand. It's so much more to overstand, to understand. I don't want to just understand. I want to understand. I want to understand from the inside. I want to know me on different levels. I don't want to just know me on the surface level. It's time for you to unlock the blueprint. It's time for you to know who you truly are. It is time for you to remember. When are you going to unlock the blueprint? When are you going to say, okay, I'm tired of my own shit. I'm tired of my own shit. I had to get tired of my own shit. When are you going to say, okay, I deserve more. I'm done settling. I'm done putting myself through shit. I remember being on a stroom trip with my godmother. And I was releasing some stuff from childhood. And I remember us being in a car on the beach. And her telling me, Mariah, what you holding on to? Because you playing right now. See, when we go on these journeys, when we go on these stroom trips, you have a choice. You have a choice to hold on to that shit, or you have a choice to let that shit go. See, the strooms, give you the ability to tap into that part of you that you thought you healed, that you thought you forgot about, that you keep putting to the back of your head. She said, what you keep playing with yourself for? I said, shit, I don't know. I'm tired of my own shit. I'm tired of my own shit. I don't know. Like, I'm about to go release this. I'm about to let this shit go. Because what I'm holding on to it for? What is the point of holding on to something that doesn't serve me anymore? I'm not hurting anybody but myself. Once I start to realize that my life is the way it is because of me and nobody else, I am at where I'm at because of me and nobody else, I started taking back my power. I started taking my power back from that person, that person, that person. They did this, she did that, he did this. No, I take it back. Because that's giving you power. And no one has power over me. No person, no place, and no thing has power over me. I take it back. And I let it go. And I let it go with love. Not to judge myself. Not to judge the person. Not to judge the experience. But to know that I'm human. Having an experience. And with me being in this human body, I knew before I came down here that I was going to experience these things. I knew before I came down here I was going to meet that person. I knew before I came down here I was going to go through that. So I let it go with love. I let it go with grace. Because I didn't know better in that time. Because I didn't love myself in that time. Because I wasn't healed in that time. Because that person didn't love their self in that time. Because that person was moving out of hurt and pain in that time. So I let it go. I let it go with love. I let it go with grace. And I appreciate that thing. And I appreciate that person. And I appreciate that experience. When you unlock that blueprint, you start seeing things differently. You start seeing, oh, I can put a window right there. Oh, I can see through that window, so I'm able to see differently. Oh, if I want to add another window, I can see it. I can put another window right there. Because I have the blueprint. You have the blueprint. It's time for you to start using your blueprint. It's time for you to start looking into your blueprint. It's time for you to unlock your blueprints. You have a blueprint for $1 million house, but you've been acting like a hut. You've been acting like you got a hut and you got a house. You got a blueprint for $1 million house, but you've been acting like a hut. It's time for you to start acting like you have $1 million house, like you're walking around as a fucking temple. And once you start tapping into yourself, your abilities, your gifts, your knowledge, your wisdom, is when you unlock. It's when you activate. It's when you remember. Oh shit, I got a mansion somewhere. Oh shit, it's been waiting on me the whole time. You telling me I got $1 million house and I've been acting like I got a trailer? No offense to trailers, because there's some beautiful trailers. But a trailer foundation is not sturdy. It's not stable. It can be moved. It could be moved by storms. It could be moved by a hurricane. But a house, a temple, have amazing foundation. Have amazing structure. Cannot be pushed. Could not be blown down if the foundation is right. So once I start tapping into that part of me, the part that was in the dark, the part I didn't want to talk about, the part I didn't want to acknowledge, the blueprint started to unlock. It started to awake. And all the things I thought I was weird about, all the things that I thought I'll get judged about, it went out the window. Yeah, the same window I made. The same window I made in my house. The same window I made in my temple, in my mansion. It went out the window. Because I started to remember, this is my reality. This is my life. This is my story. This is my house. I am the blueprint. When you start remembering and realizing and moving like that, you take your power back. Not being arrogant, but from your spirit. You remembering, I'm so much more than this human body. If y'all resonated with anything from my video, please like and subscribe. Until next time, I love y'all. Healing Honey. Peace.